question, what is the worst injury I've got? I broke my left wrist when I was 10 years old and I had to have surgery. We were going to celebrate my mom's 40th birthday in our country house, which we rent, and I was going to the store with my friend, and we were crossing a parking lot, and we were going over the tag part of the parking lot, little wooden thing where they have like the spots. Yeah, I was going over that, and I got stuck with the bottom of my little bathing slipper, and I fell over. So I did a little tumble, and I thought, hey, ow. I scrubbed my arm really bad, and I'm like, ow, it hurts. But I didn't really think about it until I saw my hand like flopping a lot lower than it's supposed to be. I don't remember actually, maybe I did, see both bones inside my arm snapped off and protruded from my wrist. So it was an open fracture. Yeah, that was painful. So my friend ran up to my mom, and I was there screaming my head off. And people just walked by, and I was really, really hurt. And I was screaming and screaming and screaming. I remember a lady, after a while, after like 2 or 3 people passed me, she knelt down beside me, and I had put my forehead on my arm to try to stabilize it so the bones weren't moving around as much. And I remember she petted my head, and she told me she would stay there until my mom got there. So my mom turned up, and she had like wooden spoon and a wooden fork, and she had some bandages, and she bound my arm. Here in Sweden, if you have like a small injury like that, you don't get an ambulance. So we had to wait like for a taxi, and had then to box me and my mom inside the taxi with my broken arm, me screaming, and drive to the hospital. That was not fun. And I had to wait until like 10 in the evening. This was early in the morning to get my surgery. So I was in a lot of pain, and they started shooting me up with morphine. And it turns out that doesn't work on me. It works for like 10 minutes. My mom said that my eyes turn really shiny, like when you have a fever or you're about to cry. And that worked for 10 minutes. Yeah, medicine resistance. Yay. Not really bad. But since then, can you tell? You see that little shadow on my wrist? That is the scar from where it protruded. And let's see if we can see. Yeah, do you see that? That is where they inserted the pin, and that is the scar from the protrusion. I have another one on the side. Yeah, forgive my mess of a makeup table. Okay, yeah. It took a long while to get it to work again. It's still weird, but I can still use my hand. I can still move my fingers. But if I use it too often, the joint is still a little bit wonky, even though it's been like almost 17 years since I broke it. Other than that, I have smashed the back of my skull. I was swimming when I was in high school. Yeah, we had a pool in school. So I was swimming, and I was swimming on my back, and I thought, oh, I have X meters behind me, but I miscalculated, so I didn't have time to stop before my head hit the wall, and it hit it really hard. So I have a permanent dent on the back of my head. Not my brightest moment. Okay, let's try another question. What is your sexual orientation? Not that it actually matters, but people might be interested. I am bisexual or like omnisexual. I haven't dated anybody who's transsexual or anything like that, so I don't really know if that would be okay with me, but I am equally into men and into women. So I fall in love with a person rather than the gender itself. Yeah. Okay, let's try another question. Okay, do you believe in karma? Yeah, the answer for that is if I did, I must have been the worst person on this earth because I have really, really, really bad luck. And not really, I haven't died or anything, but I hurt myself a lot, and I'm a really big klutz. Yeah, I have coordination and everything. I used to dance and everything, but I hit myself or fall down or get sick, or anybody who knows me, stuff always happens. Okay, what is the worst place you've ever been to? I don't really know what they mean by the worst place ever. But the scariest thing I've done in the last few years is go down to the catacombs in Rome. When we were there in 2011, anybody else who knows me knows that I am really claustrophobic. I hate tiny spaces, and definitely tiny spaces beneath the ground with a lot of dead people freaks me that loud. I've never seen a dead body in my life, so being around dead people, even though they are skeletons, that still freaks me out. So I don't go. I've been to 3 funerals in my life, and the whole concept is, ugh, I don't like dead people. Yeah, but it was worth it to go down there to see a painting that was made for a grave over 2,000 years ago, and it still looks like it was painted like a month ago. The colors were really, really vibrant with cerulean and the reds, and it was amazing. So therefore, it was worth it. My sister tried to take a picture down there, and she got told off, but she still has a really blurry picture of the catacombs. So yeah, that is the scariest thing I've done in the last few years. But I'm really, really proud of myself that I actually did it. It wasn't as bad as I thought, but I have high anxiety and panic attacks, so I was really proud of myself that I managed to do it and not freak out. Another question is, what is your religion or faith? Me personally, I don't believe in God. I never have. And I don't believe in a religion either. If I live my life the way I live it and how I feel. So I don't let anybody else tell me that I shouldn't do this or I shouldn't do that or I should live my life like this or not. But I get why people feel that they need it, that they need to feel like something bigger out there is taking care of them, and they love the community that they get through the church or the mosque or the synagogue that they go to. But for me personally, I have never found that I need it at all. Some people might find it strange, but I've never felt like there was anything out there, and I never felt like I needed to pray. When we were kids, they take you to churches and they try to explain the whole where Jesus came from and the whole Protestant faith. And every time I went into church, I felt like I was going to burst into flame. Not exactly the churches here, but even in Rome, going into churches, my sister wanted to see a lot of them. And I thought it was really, really discomforting. Even though I find them beautiful, it feels extremely wrong to me. And don't do stuff if it makes you feel bad. So that's my tip.